Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. People have been saying this indie horror is a masterpiece, the saving grace, the magnum opus for... Actually, I don't know if anyone said that one, but is it really that good? In this video, I'm going to be rating Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 to see if it is a ride or die. Ride is good, die is bad, just to let you know. And this is all just based on my experience as the average player playing this game. I'll be rating based on characters, horror/aesthetics, lore, gameplay, and of course how much fun I had. Each section will be rated out of 10 and the total rating be out of 50. If this game's total score equals 30 or less, then it's a die. If it's a 31 and over, then it's a ride. I'm Ride or Die, and I'm here to find out if Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 is a ride or die. Characters.
Yes, no, the door's closing.
Poppy is still Poppy. She's ominous, tiny, and I'm kind of starting to like her in this chapter. Still hate her for not letting us leave this freaking place. But, I mean, like, it's a bit better than in the second chapter. Second chapter, she was just kind of there and gone. But, yeah, 6 out of 10. We did it. Oh! Oh, Kissy Missy. I like her. She's sweet, kind, and clearly suffering from PTSD. And I just want to give her a hug. And I really like that dynamic between Kissy and Poppy in this chapter. It's pretty cute. I didn't see enough of her. R.I.P. whatever happened to her up there. 8 out of 10.
I'm Gregory.
I mean, Ollie. Yeah, we don't know much about him. He's there to send us keys and giant batteries. He's not annoying by enemies, such as a certain someone. The points between call times are a little shaky. He calls a lot sometimes, or calls once, and then calls again like 30 minutes later. 6 out of 10. Also, I thought it was funny when he said ouchies. This lady. She is something else. Such a hard time with her, but it's such a relief when you beat her. I love her design. Broken, like, mouth part and everything. And, you know, her backstory with the notes that you can find of her turning, like, insane. Overall, her design and mechanic is pretty great for a horror game. I'm just probably not someone that's all cracked up to do it. 7 out of 10. This poor man doesn't even have his whole body. He is still amazingly designed. It's very disturbing what happened to him, and I think that's what they were going for. It's great, that thing, leaning into the horror. Still, on top of this man for being tortured, he gets eaten and puppeteered by these little dudes from the inside. Smash like for this man's funeral. Hashtag Dog Day needs some more love and money for funeral. I don't know why, but he sounds like a 30-year-old chain smoker. 7 out of 10. What? Now, these little guys are tiny and a little goofy, not gonna lie. I like the designs and their goofiness during the scene. It's a little glitchy, but it's still part of the fun. Truly enjoyable part of the Chapter 3. 8 out of 10. Catnap is so cool. I'm just gonna say that right now. And scary. I love his design by, you know, like, showing his starvation and, like, he is super thin and, like, lanky. And it just makes him even more of, like, a really cool mascot. Both. He's just this silent stalker, and every time I saw him, I was just... You know? Also, I like the backstory with him befriending the prototype. Really, really good. 9 out of 10. Also, Nightmare Catnap is pretty scary as well, but not as scary because his mouth just looks goofy and it just looks like one of those Woody and Buzz edit. 7 out of 10 for the Nightmare dude. Last but not least, the prototype. Still just a hand. Like his design though. 7 out of 10. Overall, really a step up from the second chapter.
Mommy heard that Miss
8 out of 10.
Play care.
I just gotta say right now, the graphics are amazing. I can literally see a crumb of dust on a pillow in the dark corner when looking at it. That is how good these graphics are. And like the mood and the setting and everything. First one was kind of spooky, but nothing really ever happened. Second one kind of felt like a mess. Sometimes it felt like a little spooky. Other times it just felt like a goofy moment. This chapter, the tones just feel so much more focused and on point, and I feel so much more immersed in this environment. The tones are just mwah. And the soundtrack, like... perfection. And also another thing to note is the VHS tapes. I feel like the quality of them and everything. You learn a lot more with the VHSs and everything. The other thing, and hearing the prototype talk was just great. or in aesthetics. 9 out of 10. Made it to the halfway point of this vid. Thanks, and you should definitely like and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this video and want to see more. Thank you guys so much for the support. You guys are awesome. Let's get back to the vid. The lore in this game is definitely way better than the previous chapters. So, gonna sum it up a little bit. Story goes is that Playcare was built by the late Elliot Ludwig. They wanted to have, you know, a place for like the orphan children and everything because they wanted to have more test subjects for their Bigger Bodies initiative. So they thought the best way to do that was with orphans because they don't have a family report of missing. I know, it's terrible, right? But after they were all well kept in the orphanage, some were picked to be tested for the Bigger Bodies initiative and surgically put into the bodies. We also learned that on the date August 8th, 1995 was the hour of joy when all the experiments in the factory revolted and killed everybody in the factory. We also learned about Catnap and his worship and his religion around the prototype, because when Catnap was still an orphan before he got turned into Catnap, he had a pretty serious accident by shocking himself with the grab pack, and the prototype saved him. And so now Catnap just worships him and kills anybody who opposes him. I think the lore in this game, personally love it. They actually gave us way more. There is speculation and everything, but there's also enough crumbs and there's enough pieces of bread in this one to actually kind of piece together the whole sandwich of this lore. 9 out of 10. Oh lord, I'm dead. Oh, I'm not dead. You get a Glock. The gameplay of a game is one of the most important parts when reviewing a game. You can have amazing characters and lore and story and aesthetics, but if the gameplay mechanics suck and they're boring, no one's gonna want to play it. Personally, I thought it was great. You get 2 new hands in the game. You get a purple hand that you can use for an extra jump boost by hitting one of the purple pads, and then you get a flare gun that is used to light up rooms and shoot in those little guys' faces. And then, you know, you got your basics, blue for opening doors, green for electricity. I think they all get their times to shine. Even the blue hand does. See, though, I think the one that doesn't get too much spotlight as a new hand is the flare gun. It's really just there for the smiling critter scene and then just kind of to goof off after that. I mean, all the hands get used in the end. The flare gun, kind of used in the end. I still think it was a fun hand. There are also many new puzzles that I loved. The pillars in the electric hand were getting a little stale. Now, there is a turret puzzle. They have a turret. Some of them, you need like a PhD in puzzle solving to finish. There was literally a puzzle in the counselor section where I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, and it took me almost an hour to do it. Maybe that's just a skill issue. Some of the puzzles are a little too long. There are also points in the game where it kind of tries to hint at you what you got to do, but it is so subtle and unnoticeable. Point in the counselor section, we needed a key to unlock the door, and I had no clue where I was going, and I had to look up a guide to find out what I had to do. But I didn't mind them all too much. The linear path of the game is not bad, and I think everything was paced really well. We also get some parkour moments, which were pretty fun. I died a little bit, but that's okay. There was a part at the end that kind of ticked me off that I gotta talk about, that we needed one more power cord in the counselor's office. But then when I went to plug it in, it then said it was only at 96%. I thought we were supposed to have enough juice. Ollie, help me out here. So I was just wandering around for 10 minutes trying to figure out where I was. I thought that the sky dome meant like the center of the Playcare. I just kind of felt like that part was filler and didn't even need to be added. This is probably like the biggest critique I have for the game. But overall, the gameplay is very good. I believe that's a maybe 7.5 in the Playhouse. Besides gameplay, having fun is one of the most important parts for a good game. And personally, I had a lot of it, except for a certain someone. Overall, I believe this game is pretty replayable because there are some fun moments. I mean, you get a freaking Glock in this game. And granted, some puzzles, like I said, require a full 11 years in college to solve. But, you know, also some of the puzzles are really fun to do. I think I had the most fun out of it than all the other chapters. So overall, fun. 8 out of 10. Final scores are characters, 8 out of 10. Horror, 9 out of 10. Lore, 9 out of 10. Gameplay, 7.5 out of 10. And fun, 9 out of 10. Now for the final score, out of 50, is, drumroll please, 42.5 out of 50. That is a pretty high score. This is a definite ride for me. Yeah, I just thought this game was amazing. It is definitely a magnum opus. I had a lot of fun. Proud of you if you're the ones that made it to the end of this. So, thank you. This has been Ride or Die. This game is a definite ride. Ciao, ciao for now.